Hello friends, and welcome back to our channel. This vlog is a continuation from yesterday's vlog, which I will link up top in case you want to catch up. Good morning, it's the next day. Gary's already left to go to Charlotte. So we are getting ready to get out of the hotel room and go pick up some breakfast. So we got kind of a mess going on in here. We're trying to pack up everything. We always bring way too much with us, but we've got like a dirty clothes bag and a couple suitcases and computer stuff, all that kind of stuff that we're getting ready to pack up. Here's our view of Highway 378 in Lexington, which is actually not crowded right now. We are getting ready to head out, so we're getting ready to go get some breakfast, and then we are going to be dropping something off at a friend's house, and then we have to go to speech therapy. So Sophie's gonna get in-person speech today, right?
Yeah, Miss Molly can do that to me.
I think we're gonna get to see Miss Angela too, because she said she would be there.
Yeah.
And then we have a little break. Then we've got doctor's appointments this afternoon. So that's what we've got lined up for today. Gary's already gone. He went to his project in Charlotte early this morning. So we won't see him again until we get back to Hilton Head tonight. Hey friends, I just wanted to let you know how much we are enjoying receiving your Christmas cards during our Christmas card swap this year. And there's still time if you'd like to send us a Christmas card. I'll leave that address in the description box below, and we will return a card to you as well.
When the gathering has begun and concerns are down.
All right, we've got some biscuits at Bojangles for Sophie and me. Katie did not want a biscuit, right? What are you gonna have?
Probably egg whites, yeah.
I'm kind of tired of the egg bites. Just wanted something different. And we're gonna get some coffee and apple juice at Starbucks, and then we are going to head on our way. Little urgent care hospital across the street here, and we're noticing that they don't have their drive-through COVID testing anymore. So I wonder if the caseload's improving here or whatever, because they've had it every time we've been here. They've had the drive-through COVID testing, and they don't have that anymore. It's gone.
Give it to someone to share on this holiday affair. Could there be more? The glow of candlelight with your problems out of sight.
Friends, we'd love to pray for you. If we can pray for you, let us know in the comments below.
Have a happy, merry, beautiful Christmas, where all your troubles fade away, where there's laughing.
It seems like it's already been a really long day. And we've only made it through speech therapy, but we went to speech. That went really well. That was fun. We haven't seen Miss Marley in quite a while, and we got to see Miss Angela too, which was a bonus because she was there. We had brought our little gifts for them and everything, her little Christmas gifts. So now we're on the way to the pediatrician appointment, but I think we're gonna probably just go to Target for a few minutes because we have some extra time, and otherwise we're just gonna have to sit in the parking lot. In some past vlogs, I'll probably link up top the one vlog where we talked about this the most, when Sophie was kind of having this checked out or whatever. But Sophie has a lump in her abdomen, and it's kind of hard to tell like if it's attached to her rib cage. But anyway, Sophie had been evaluated by a pediatric surgeon right before COVID hit, and they were like wanting to check it out again in like a month, and that didn't happen because everything shut down, because it's actually, that doctor is located at a hospital, and so everything except for like basically the only health care you could get at that time was if you actually had COVID or you were like having a heart attack or something acute. So she was really never able to get any follow-up care with that, and So basically the advice that we were given is if it doesn't get any bigger and it's not causing pain, don't worry about it right now. And so that's basically the situation we're in. It's not any bigger, at least we don't think it is, and it hasn't caused any pain. So we're gonna run that by the pediatrician again and have her probably contact that other doctor and just kind of decide if there's anything else that needs to be done with that, or if they think she's okay, because we're not really sure where we are with that. And it hasn't been causing any problems, but it's definitely still there. You definitely can still feel it. So it hasn't gone away or anything like that.
It was the night before Christmas. I was closing down for business in my little present shop, when the bell on the door jingled once more, and then time almost...
Alright, so I just wanted to wrap up this vlog. I never really kind of closed it out, and I also didn't really talk about how the doctor's appointment went with Sophie. I have linked the previous, one of the previous videos where we talked about the lump on her abdomen. It's really on her like rib cage. But anyway, so we had that looked at, and we also talked about how Sophie might react with COVID. So we have been not doing church online, all that kind of stuff because of COVID, and just not knowing, because Sophie has a rare genetic condition called SETD5, and we just really didn't know if that would play into it for her, if that would just kind of put her more at risk, because I have read that children with neurological issues are at higher risk for COVID complications, and Sophie does have neurological issues because of SETD5, which we have numerous videos on our channel about SETD5. I'll link one of those in the description box below if you want more information on that. You also might wonder why I'm talking about medical information for Sophie, and the reason is because our channel was created with the idea of offering hope for families that are dealing with a rare genetic condition called SETD5, and there's very little information out there about this condition. And so we're sharing information in hopes that it might help other families who are navigating this path with their children or loved ones. So first I'll go ahead and talk about the lump on her abdomen. So I had talked about this before, that she had a lump on her abdomen, and Sophie had lost her health care during COVID. She had gone into, we had been seen at the pediatrician, she had been sent to a pediatric surgeon, and I've linked those videos where you can watch those if you're interested in that. And he said that it might just be cartilage. The only way to really know would be to do an MRI. And then COVID hit, we weren't able to get appointments with the surgeon's office, which we were supposed to go back in within 30 days, and all of those appointments were recanceled. They were rescheduled and then canceled, and then rescheduled and then canceled, and that sort of thing, because in South Carolina at one point, anything that was considered elective was eliminated. And so we wouldn't have been able to get that MRI at that point anyway, since it would have been considered elective just to determine what that mass was. So they were calling it a mass, and the doctor was thinking it might just be cartilage, which would be no big deal, would not require surgery, and she would be fine. Unless it continued to grow. If it continued to grow, then she would have to have it surgically removed. And he was talking about that, with most children, that's probably what it is, and that kind of the thing. He said, he's dealing in those percentages, so that's why he doesn't worry about it. And I said, well, with Sophie's SETD5 and the fact that skeletal abnormalities are part of that, that's just what concerns me, is are we absolutely sure that that's what it is? And so we really wanted to, we were basically trying to all think about what else we needed to do, if he was going to talk to the geneticist, and if we were going to go forward with an MRI, and that's kind of where we got stopped. So going into the pediatrician's office this week, that was definitely one of the things that I wanted to bring back up, because it kind of had just gotten to a dead end. And one of the big things that he had told us is that it would be considered more of an urgent situation if the mass increased in size or caused pain, which neither one of those things happened. So we had just been kind of waiting to see, you know, what was going to be done next. So the pediatrician said that she definitely felt like we needed to go back in to the surgeon, but she felt like we needed to wait until after flu season because she really didn't want Sophie in a hospital right now. With COVID and the flu and all of that kind of stuff, she felt like that was not a good situation for Sophie. So she said in the spring, she wanted to go ahead and get back in either with that same surgeon or start somewhere new down here, but she definitely wants it looked at again. However, she felt like, in her opinion, she didn't think it was any bigger, and she was encouraged that it wasn't causing Sophie any pain. So we're at some point going to have to go down that road again of determining what that mass is and what another doctor thinks that, or another specialist thinks that we should be doing. The other big question that we had for her was COVID and Sophie. You know, is like, we have been doing church online and avoiding any kind of gathering, very minimal eating in restaurants. Normally when we do, we get takeout or we eat outside. We rarely are doing restaurants though at all. So the only thing that we've really done is just like walking through a store, which is supposed to be extremely low risk. And that kind of thing, but no gatherings whatsoever. We haven't done anything like that, and no church because that's considered a gathering. So we've just done online church. So my husband and I both would really like to be back in a real church, or, you know, like a physical, actually, you know, going to church versus having to always do church online. But we don't want to do that if it puts Sophie at a high risk of getting COVID, especially if Sophie would be more at high risk for having COVID complications. So we asked the doctor about that, and it's important to know that my doctor is a Christian, and so she doesn't have any bias there that like religion isn't important, or you know, she understands that that's important to us, and also understands that with Katie being homeschooled, it would be really nice for her to be able to join a youth group and be able to make some friends since we've moved. So all that in consideration, I was honestly kind of surprised when she said, since you've waited this long, I really think it would be better for Sophie for y'all not to go back to an in-person church until after flu season. So she thought it would be better for us to wait, and she said what concerns her the most about Sophie potentially getting COVID is that with Sophie's SETD5, she has low muscle tone all over her whole body. And she said that could increase breathing difficulty for Sophie, and it may even cause her not to be able to eat and things like that if she were to get COVID, because COVID does kind of attack the muscles and makes you weaker, and Sophie's already weak. And so that would be a great concern to her as far as like Sophie's condition if Sophie were to get COVID. We don't know if Sophie's any more likely to get COVID than anybody else. I mean, I would assume that she's not any more likely to get it. It's just that if she did get it, she might be more likely to be more sick. And also, she is also a child that would be considered high risk because she does have neurological differences. She has some differences on her MRI, and she's also had seizures. So anyway, it was good to just kind of get an interpretation on that and some clarification that we are doing the right thing with doing the online church right now. And so basically we're going to kind of revisit all of these things probably at the end of March or April when it starts to warm up and we start to at least get out of flu season. That's the update on Sophie's medical stuff that's been going on. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye.